You want to know what guys really think and talk about behind closed doors? Look no further. Welcome to the Other Guys podcasts. You'll most likely be offended, but you'll probably laugh too. So, enjoy. Welcome to the Other Guys podcast. I'm the host, Kevin, and today I'm joined by some special guys. One of them is...
Oh, hi, I'm Kirk.
And my other guest tonight is...
Okay. Are we just going to do like this? Like, are you not going to do a reveal for yourself here? Or, like, does it matter?
Yeah,
like,
Kevin, what do we do? Who were you once before? Do you once have a secret identity of some sort?
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it matters, but...
So for the listeners that have stuck by us...
Like, well, automatically they're... Like,
hold on. For the listeners who have stuck by us and have probably listened to the past episodes, I was going under the moniker Special K. Now, the reason why we were doing nicknames and stuff...
Because you were a ketamine addict, is that correct?
No, it's because... because we wanted nicknames. It was almost similar to like what superheroes were doing. We were doing nicknames to protect certain people.
I thought of it more like villains.
How so? Mr.
Well, the Joker's real name ain't the Joker. You know, like...
I get.
Mr. Freeze isn't Mr. Freeze.
Doctor...
The Riddler's not the Riddler.
Okay. Edward Enigma, yeah. So, okay, fine. Mr. Moves. Former Mr. Moves.
So Murray.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why? Why now? How come?
You told me now.
Okay, I guess.
It's also to bring more of a realism.
Yes.
You know, so there's a break a barrier.
You know what? It's because you know what? We're not coming out of hiding. We're done hiding behind the names. It's ready to Iron Man this shit up.
I thought you were just going to say we're coming out of the closet. I was like,
this is my actual first time doing this, so I mean, like, I was going to use my name regardless. So I'm glad that it actually happened that everyone was saying their name. So. Yeah.
But I mean,
I was holding off until we did a milestone episode.
Yeah.
Where people. Well, I would probably be offending people out there.
Yeah.
That know everything. So I was just gonna drop it and be like, all right, bitches.
We still have a lot of time to offend people, and
this is what I gotta say. This is my name. Murray, and you can find me at the following addresses if you have a problem, and we can settle it.
Yeah, and so I mean, on that note, that's who we are, and also with this podcast, just to explain it, the podcast is just a bunch of guys talking about stuff, and no holes barred, nothing like you can say whatever you want on this podcast,
like boobs,
you can probably
breasts,
tits,
gotta take it there.
Yeah,
we're staying on the boobs.
Big ones, right?
What are some other? I don't know, but we can say a lot of stuff, and So, but okay, to bring that to a close, we're gonna be using our real names. I'm Kevin, and today I got Kirk.
Yeah, that's true.
And I got Murray. So I want to talk today about the effect or the saying. Nice guys finish last. You guys heard about that shit? Or you've heard that line before?
Yes, once or twice.
Have you ever been called a nice guy?
Frequently.
Okay. Murray, have you ever been accused of being a nice guy, even if
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
I feel like I can't help but be nice to people. Like I feel like if anyone makes me feel like if I get like the guilt that someone like I wronged them or said something, it like sticks with me, and I try to think in my head, I'm like, no, they're just being ridiculous. That wasn't that bad. But then it stews in me until I'm like, I don't know. Like I think maybe in a past life I was Catholic or something.
But
like,
so
I'm just
like
very guilty. I very like a guilt centric kind of persona.
Well, I get that. But when I mean nice guy, I'm just saying like I want to, I guess, attach more to the negative. Like, listen, at the end of the day, you should be nice towards the next guy to you. You know, being nice has its virtues, but there's also a lot of negatives.
Well, I think there's a couple of different ways about it, right? Like there's the nice guys finish last with women, side of it, and then there's like, how many times have you been somewhere where like there's like fucking like the last slice of pizza, and you're like, I'd like to eat it, I'm hungry, and then like somebody's there, it's like, well, yeah, go ahead, like and they take it, you're like, shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I should have just grabbed that fucking pizza slice. Like, why did I even do that?
Yeah,
like,
but isn't that behavior...
Now I'm last. Like, I don't have a pizza now.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? Why was I nice?
Yeah, but isn't that behavior almost tied to the whole women thing too? Like, don't you think that if you're inherently nice in... Like, do you think that you can be a nice guy and a bad guy at the same time? Or you think that, you think that you can be just a nice guy? No, or do you think you graduate?
I think you could be both.
Or do you think...
Sorry?
No, what I'm thinking, is there an evolution? Like, does everybody start off as a nice guy, and then, eventually the world takes a toll on them, and then they go through a period of whatever, and then they maybe find a balance?
What do you think, Kirk?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess your experiences shape you, right? So I mean, but I think
but
like it happens way sooner. Do you think
you start off like does everybody start off?
There's
nice?
Always that kid like from like grade 2 who like peed on somebody at recess or something, and just did gross stuff or was like an asshole.
A bully. Yeah,
it was bullies, and those guys and they're like those guys become like the cool kind of guys, and then like to me at least, I always thought like the point of those guys was that like they might be kind of like cool enough and like get through high school and that kind of stuff and be.
See, I wouldn't call a bully cool. Like I know what you're saying. But I mean, like somebody that's a little rough, like
yeah,
rougher.
They have a certain reputation or whatever, and then like that.
That didn't seem like a nice guy.
Then you're just you can hope is that as the nicer person, and you work hard and you can have a career, but they'll be like languishing somewhere, like in a ditch, hopefully. You're like,
and nobody finds them because I put them there.
So what you're saying is that early on you think that the nice guy gets shit on early on. But in the end, he doesn't really finish last. He ends up running Microsoft, or he ends up.
No, Bill Gates is a dick. Don't get me wrong with that. I think some of that stuff's out of your control at that age. Like you can't control some of the stuff like how you dress and how you look and what's the other kind of social stuff when you're like growing up, because there's so much you don't have control when you're a kid. When you're an adult, you can totally like change your own destiny.
Right.
I agree. I think that for the most part, I think what you're saying is for the most part, most people are nice.
Mm-hmm.
But people I think everybody's capable though.
Okay.
More now than ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a whole thing, right? Like everybody's nice until they don't want to be nice in certain situations.
Okay. What's the let's go to narrow it down. What do you think is the nicest thing you've ever done?
I bought someone an Xbox One once.
That is very, very nice.
Who I didn't even really know very well. But this is like this is going to a different part of my life right now.
Yeah.
I was once hospitalized for psychiatric issues.
Right.
And I met some guy and he gave me $100 to buy him a used Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know where to buy it actually. The thing that he wanted, he said something and I had a pass or something. So I went to Future Shop and used my credit card and just bought him a brand new Xbox One. And that was when it was relatively a new system. It was like a $500.
It's still worth money.
It was a $500 bundle with like Forza or something. And I gave it to him and I was like, here you go, man. And then like I started to come down from my kind of like manic state. And then I saw him like 2 weeks later. And he was happy to see me, but I'm like kind of like back down to earth. I'm like, fuck, man. I wish I had never done that. But like I realized in that moment that's like me, like a section of me was the super nicest guy that didn't mind that I was losing $400 in this deal.
Yeah.
So you had to be in a state to be the nicest person, but yeah. So
does that count though?
I mean, like, if you look at the nicest...
Like, I'm sure, like, I can't put myself in that position.
Yeah.
But, like, I've been really drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure I've spent too much money on people.
Yeah.
And, like, been, like, the next day, it's like, fuck. I spent $200 last night? What the hell did I do? You know? And it's like, well, I don't have that big of a hangover, so I didn't drink all those, all that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's different, but, like, I wouldn't say that's me being nice because like I'm drunk.
Yeah.
In a normal state, I can't think of exact, but that just always comes to mind. The thing I did that was just kind of ridiculous. nice and like. Because in my head, like at that time, like I remember that being in that headspace, and I'm like, I don't care that I have to spend this much money. He deserves this, even though I was just kind of like slightly chummy with this guy. I didn't really even know him that well enough to even.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Do I even remember his name? No. I just so.
But you remember the moment of being,
I remember that moment.
It's
like
almost like a one night stand.
It was pretty close. It was just me like on an adventure, and I bought a bunch of other shit too, and it's just like I think I was more than happy in that space to do something nice. I felt because I was like, you know what? I told him I was gonna go out and get him something. I didn't find this one store. He told me to go get this used thing, so I'm gonna get him a brand new one. Why not? And then, and then they kept me in the hospital a little bit longer. So,
okay.
I don't know. I can't top that. That's a nice. Like I mean, I've generally done certain nice acts. I mean, and to this day, I still do them. Like, there'll be times where like I'm at a grocery store and I have like maybe. Like a lot of items, and someone has like only 2. I'll let them go ahead of me, Kevin, or in traffic.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're not like just in the aisle fondling melons.
Kevin, what about the nicest thing you've ever done for me was you helped me move, but you took a train. I was going to pay for that. You just did it on your own dime. Yeah. You came all the way from Toronto to Sarnia for your very first time.
Yeah, which
you saw how much of a nightlife we had. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's like one street.
You slept on my wonderful couch, and then you drove the truck, helped me move the next day.
Yeah,
back to here. And then,
that's a nice deed.
Yeah, but I
mean, like, it's also like
that's a friend thing. That's a friend thing,
right?
and see that
you did it for like Taco Bell, basically. I gave you like a bunch of tacos.
I definitely had a lot of tacos that day. I think, but see, that's different because like that nice act is more of a like we're friends and
oh yeah, it was 10 years of friendship.
That's the thing. There's a lot of, I think a true genuine act of niceness is like.
But then
I don't know.
Well, at the same time,
there's
though,
a lot.
like like he's using that as an example, which it can be because like how many, like I mean, I can link it into like women or girls or whatever. Like how many times as a guy, you're just a nice guy to some like a girl or somebody, whatever. But you're interested or maybe not. But you're just being nice, and like a lot, and like maybe outsiders, maybe it's you, and maybe I'm like, okay, Kevin, like. You seem to have a thing with this girl, like she's your friend or whatever, but you're really nice to her, like, and you guys should date, like, and everybody sees that, and everybody's like, yeah, you guys should date, you guys should be together or whatever, give each other a chance, but then they don't feel the same way because you know what, you're a nice guy, you're a nice guy, you know what I mean, you're too nice a guy, right?
See, and I think that's where. There's positives to being a nice guy, like having a good thing, but there's the negative side, the dark side of being a nice guy, which sometimes being a nice guy will get you burnt, right? Like a nice guy.
Yes, I would.
Because here's the thing when it comes to nice guys is that like, at the end of the day, and like if you want to get into the definition of a nice guy, is that you're kind of almost sacrificing your own needs. For the betterment of someone else, right? Like
last pizza slice.
The last pizza slice, right? Like you're kind of like your internal is like I want that, but you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice my own happiness for somebody else's, right? And that's where I think the negatives of a nice guy comes in.
Oh yeah.
I
remember I worked with this one girl, and I was just like, I think at first it was like I was just trying to be friendly with her because she was like outwardly friendly to me, and kind of inappropriately she'd make kind of like weird comments. I kind of thought, but I wasn't really interested at the time. And I slowly started to like her, but like I would do little nice things like get her coffee or something. But the one girl,
that's not a bad move. That's not a bad move.
No, the one girl worked at the coffee store. She made one comment because she was like, "You come in. I know you're getting the one for her probably because I mentioned I was like that she knew her as well." And I was like, she's like, "You come in and get a medium black coffee." And she's getting like this chai latte, and she's no problem asking for that like regularly, even though you're coming back with like a $2 black coffee or something. And she's like, and that her point was like, maybe don't let her like kind of order you around like that, like and just expect that you're gonna get this because it's like that adds up like $5 coffees.
Sure. See, you are nicer than me, but like there's no way I'm doing that unless. like I'm doing that, but I have to be romantically linked to that person for me to be shelling that money out. Like I'm not doing that before that. Like I'll be like, you want a tea or a coffee? Chai, like whatever. I don't even know. Mochaccino, frappuccino, whatever. I'm gonna be like, you want a coffee? Double, or you want a sugar in it, or like a tea or a hot chocolate? Like,
yeah, I think
that's what I'm bringing. That's what I'm doing. You know?
It was just me floating the offers
there.
I'm like, what do you want? And she'd say it. And
but my response would be like, whoa, that's a boyfriend drink.
Yeah.
You know, that's a boyfriend drink. So unless we're dating, unless we're dating, you're not getting that out of my hand.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're a nicer guy than me.
Yeah.
But eventually, for me, when this was like the way we talked, I felt like I was getting kind of strung along. I didn't really know it. But she was like, if anything, I was being played really well. And I didn't really see it that way.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't really... I don't know. It felt weird looking back. I'm like, I don't know like how this all happened like that. I'm like, I don't really... It's like... If I started off just like I didn't even see her as anything, like it's just other than a friend and some sort of nice coworker.
Oh, yeah, shit happens like that.
And then like you're all of a sudden like, okay, now I'm attracted to you, and I feel like from that point forward, like I wasn't like aware that she was just being taken advantage of, like routinely.
See, that's a bad one.
Yeah. No, because what I was gonna say was that's an example of where the nice guy, and again, you didn't have attraction early on, you didn't know or whatever, but your nice guy's tendencies basically kind of led you down into what. You know, we've talked before in the past, the friend zone. Because, like, here's the thing, and I think what happens is, like, when you're a nice guy or whatever, and you have true motives, you know, like, you just generally want to help and you generally want to be nice. But what happens is that when you have the attraction, you're like, oh, man, I shouldn't be advancing on that. So what you do is your nice guy tendencies kind of force you into the friend zone, right? Whereas... I don't know, like I mean, you can Murray, you can probably look into this about how, you know, like when you figure out that you like a girl, right? There's two paths you can go. You can do the sneaky, I'm gonna be your friend and nice way, or direct.
Years ago, I was always nice.
Okay.
Like years and years.
Yeah.
And ended up in the friend zone many times, a few times at least, where it's like a real bitch. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm still friends with, you know, a couple of these people, like real tight, like, you know. And yeah, I've heard the words like, oh, I don't want to ruin the friendship. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, all right, whatever. You know, like, well, but you know what I realized as you get older? That all of that was immature. You know, like even that response to me was an immature response. Like, just say you're not interested. You know what I mean? Just be like, I don't look at you like that. Like, we're friends. Like, I'm not attracted to you. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's worse. You know?
Yeah, because you
be as direct as possible.
Because when you're young, you know, like you just like, because then you don't know. Like you're like, maybe I can break out of this. Like I'll just, and you can. You know, you totally can. Because like what I realize is as you get older and you start getting more seasoned and you know more experience, and you start realizing like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking eat that pizza slice. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, no, you know what, that's a good, like, you know, that's a pretty girl over there. Like, and you know, I should just be nice, and I should, or maybe I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to be rejected or offended or whatever. You know, I'm not gonna go there. Just fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about being nice at a certain point. It's about getting what you want.
Yep.
And being direct about it. So if that's not being nice, then that's not being nice. But like, you take what you want, right? Or you go for it. Or you're going to end up with like, the nice guys finish last thing, right?
Yeah.
And even by doing that, you can still finish last. Like, you know, you're still not whatever. I think that early on though, everybody falls into that zone.
Yeah, I think you have to pick and choose when it comes to being like. There's some things where you know it's great to be nice. You know, be nice towards your friends, your family, and all that stuff. But when it comes to like romantic relationships or just going for girls or whatever that you want, like you got to be direct and you got to be.
Let's say you're in a line, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you don't even know the person. Let's say you know what. Or maybe you do, or who knows. But let's say she's a cashier.
Okay.
And you're interested in a cashier or whatever. and you're doing a transaction, and you're trying to muster up the balls there to be like, ask her out or whatever, and the conversation's fine, but there's a line.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a nice guy, you're gonna just pay for your shit.
Yep.
And be like, okay, well, you know what? I'll see you next week, or I'll see you next time I'm here. Because people are like, let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want to leave, or you want to try? You want to go for this? Tell me, okay, hey, hang on, buddy. Just wait a second. I'll be out of here soon, and just go for it. Be the asshole for a minute.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That might actually be something.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a real small asshole thing to do.
Yeah. But it will also save you time, too. Because, see, the thing is, the nice guy approach to that situation, which is coming back every week and saying hi's and byes.
Eventually, you gotta let the claws out.
Months down the road.
A year later, you're like, so do you have a boyfriend? Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
that's another thing.
Well, you were single the last time I asked. You're like, yeah, well, we started dating and we're getting married. Yeah, we're on our third kid.
Way to asking
yeah.
these questions.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think. That's one thing I do like about online dating is it's like direct in that both parties know exactly what they're there for.
Yeah.
Like I'm there looking for a relationship, you're looking for a relationship, and you're not like as long as you approach everyone the right way, like you're not going to be like in a friend zone in the same way you would be with someone you might meet and get to know over time, right?
Oh, fuck, Kirk.
Do you know what I mean?
You brought up online dating.
I just thought, like, to me, that's one thing. If you do it a certain way, you're like, oh, like, it depends on the person, too. Because sometimes you see people are like, I'm only here to meet other vegans. If you're vegan, let me know. Or like, so what are you doing on the, like, or
did you ever watch that show Parks and Rec?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a side thing on the veganism or whatever. One of the guys is awesome. And vegan bacon.
Oh,
Kevin, we've had vegan bacon.
I've had it.
Or like there's a thing where it's like vegan bacon. He's like, I'll have one. And he takes it, he throws it right in the trash.
It's like,
he goes, I'll have another.
It's freaking what's it called? Ron Swanson.
Yeah. Kevin, do you remember my old house on Adelaide? Like it was Adelaide and Portland, or was it?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember how you were like, we ate somewhere, and then you were like, I want to eat again, and we were like, we're gonna do a bang bang, Kevin, and you're like, I guess so, and we ended up going across the street to this like weird small vegan restaurant, which is now closed, and we had like some weird vegan food, and I had like the bacon, and it was just the worst.
The thing is, I've had recent vegan food. They've come a long way since 5 years ago.
McDonald's now, basically, vegan McDonald's.
Yeah, no, I've had like a vegan burrito and shit.
Yeah,
and it tasted great.
Their pastries are good. Wow,
cheese has come a long way.
Yeah, no, I got friends that are vegan. I'm like, it's just a choice.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I'm not trashing veganism. I'm just saying this restaurant we went to so bad.
No.
I'm saying there was great.
You know what? Yeah, I'm the same, and like I feel like I gotta defend myself now when it comes to that shit. Where I gotta be like it feels like I meet people where well, I'm a vegan now, or I'm a vegan, and it's like, cool, why the fuck are you telling me this? I'm not going to tell you I haven't stopped eating meat.
Same reason,
you know what I mean?
Same
like,
reason
I don't
my
care.
sister became a vegan, because she needed to start bragging about other things in her kids. She's like, I got kids and I'm vegan. Whoa, love stuff, right? I'm kind of interesting, but not really.
Well, shit, I'm sure a lot of people are interesting that are vegan, but my point with it is just, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't care about shit like that. It's.
Have you ever seen that meme with a guy who's like the neck veins are coming out, like he's so stressed out, and it's underneath like when you're waiting to tell somebody you're vegan?
Yeah. that always comes out. That like if you talk to someone, they'll be like, "Oh, hey, you want to go?" No, I'm vegan. Like, it's.
Well, I mean, if you're saying, "Hey, let's go to a steakhouse," and they're like, what's their vegan options?
Yeah.
I get, okay, maybe then, I get why maybe they don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, I'm going to grab something to eat, and it's like you're on the fly, and it's like, I'm going to grab a burger.
Yeah.
Okay, I know the burger's not good for me. I get that. Thanks, folks.
Yeah.
I don't need to be told about it, and I also don't need to be told, like, well, you're a vegan, now, or whatever. I don't need that. Like, nobody gives a shit. I
don't know. It's just one of those things that people just announce now.
I'm not going to throw my burger out and be like, well, what should I eat? Like, what do you think? I'm going to, just a light bulb's going to go off in my fucking skull?
I don't know, man.
But some people do. Like, some people, I guess, would be like, oh, fuck, really? Like, I'm interested. Like, maybe that is, like.
The weird thing to me, I like to bring up to vegans is that, like, to say that most plants technically aren't vegan if you look at how a plant is fertilized. A lot of times it's
they say like don't go there, man.
We go into like how a lot of fertilization in land is for decomposed carcasses of animals. So then that means that animal then fed that plant, and then that means you're technically eating some like inadvertently an animal.
Yeah, absolutely. My thing is just I'm like fuck. I'm like, and I don't know if there's any science behind it or anything that validates my opinion, but I'm just like, we're fucking here. Like, how long have humans been on the goddamn planet? Like, I don't know, man. At least 5,000 years. They're saying we date back, 200,000 maybe, right? Like, survival. Yeah. Pretty sure we were eating fucking meat. And I'm pretty sure we were hunting mammoths. And, like, this was a way of survival. And we've got here opposable thumbs. And we emit fire. And, like, we want... your body wants it. And I get people are like, well, there's other ways of getting what the body wants. And I'm like, okay, but like I guess there's not enough study for this. Like, are there any a lot of 90-year-old vegans out there that have never
basically like the agriculture revolution is what allows people to survive off of plants. We look back like hundreds of years when there wasn't like agriculture in the way we have today. You would need a protein source like meat to actually survive. They say basically even back thousands of years ago, humans wouldn't evolve properly into the creatures we are today without a high protein meat diet. We basically, if we were only ever eating wheat or greens,
we would have died.
We would have not. I mean, we died or basically been no smarter than a cat. Or I mean, cats are pretty smart actually, but like you'd be
they're smart, but they're still not dominating.
It wouldn't have helped evolve our brain to be more complex as it is right now. Without that type of protein source.
I believe that. I agree. I believe what you're saying, and like that's part of like, are we not still evolving as a society? Like, is this helping the evolution of the human race, or is it like, well, save the dolphins and don't eat anything with a face? And I'm like, well, how do you like? Yeah. And if our ancestors did this, they would have been too lazy to take anything over. Like, they're not gonna go out and do anything. Where's the energy coming from? There's no shakes. There's no morning fucking shakes. No green wheat fucking or green grass. Whatever. What do they call that shit now? Like fucking blenders. Like who's doing that?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think
diets of convenience.
At the end of the day, everyone has. There's so many options right now when it comes to like how many genders are there? How many are? Like what I'm saying is there's okay. Before I dig deep, hold on.
What kind of genders? Tell me more.
No. What I'm just saying is right now it's very
a robot get a gender.
What I'm saying is that it is very saturated right now.
Is there such thing as a transfluid artificial intelligence robot?
Maybe.
It's just like
I don't know.
Like this, it just decides, and you got to go with it. You're like, what am I in today? Like,
I opened up a can of. No, what I'm saying is that like,
oh my god, imagine that. like imagine you had like a fucking sex robot, like you've talked about before.
Oh yeah, and
it's like listen, you show up thinking you're gonna have sex with the robot, and then it's like, nope. They're gonna like, it wants to do something to you now.
Like it goes all Westworld on you, right? Like it has an awakening through some sort of artificial intelligence, and then it just like goes wild.
Listen, man,
you come home, it's got the broom. You're like, whoa.
There's a lot of weird shit.
With that broom, I was going up your ass. That's where it's going.
I don't know, man. Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's time to look for a new relationship, right?
I don't know. Do you think? Okay, I mean.
When I come right behind you and grab that chip out of your head.
Yeah. Jesus.
Well, that's a power plug.
Well, that was the other. That's what Dimes' problem was. What was it? He was afraid that he was gonna kill him.
Yeah. There's, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. That's we're like we said before. We're living in really like we're in a golden age of just like weird shit. Right, like like lines are blurred, right? Relationships are different, food is different. There's so many options out there.
Okay, I will say this about the food stuff. I'm not talking shit about the people that are doing or that are vegan or veganism or vegetarians or whatever.
Okay,
I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. I'm saying the jury's out in my mind. Like I don't know. Maybe I switch over in 10 years.
Okay.
Maybe the results come in and it's like
No,
absolutely. Everybody needs to move to this immediately because everybody will live longer.
Yeah.
And I don't see that yet. And I'm like, that's all I'm saying is that I'm not on board that train. But keep going. Keep chugging the little engine that could.
Yeah.
Keep going. Do what you know, but it doesn't matter to me, right? Like, I don't care what your diet is. Like, yes, everybody should have a healthy, balanced diet. I get that.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the fuck you're putting in your body. It's good to have that.
We start seeing vegans all of a sudden living to 140 and everyone else.
I'm in. Yeah. Then fuck. I'm in. Yeah. The government should step in at that point.
They stop the aging process. They've had so much kale, just like they're just regenerating on a daily basis. Like actually, they're Benjamin Buttoning.
Well, here some scientists
getting
says,
younger.
Yeah, I read something.
It's like I can't believe this. Todd, the vegan, is now re-aging. Like he's de-aging every day. He's getting younger.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's like he was at 40. Now he's a teenager. Like it's cool, right?
Listen,
I just felt I needed to clarify that because people can be like, "Oh, he's fucking closed-minded."
Yeah,
and it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just like, I don't care.
I think it's like anything. You can always have a conversation about it, but like people tend to be touchy, but also like it's weird because I think like it's like vegans is almost like kind of like how religion is kind of, where people like
it is. I think
they just tell you
they
tell it
like
everything to you, like it's like this is how you should live your life, and to me it's like anything like that, like it's like going around telling people how they should live their life is fucking ridiculous. So just like if it
they've told me the date, like, oh well, I became a vegan in July 22nd, 2012. I'm like, holy shit! Like, okay, good for you.
So
like,
you didn't have the McRib when it came back. That's what you're telling me.
You missed out.
It's a traumatic. But I mean, here's the thing though. Like, veganism is an thing, but then on the opposite end of the spectrum, and I've personally tried this. There's something called keto.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Where you eat high fat, moderate protein, and zero carbs. So you're eating things like bacon and eggs. You're eating things like fucking chicken. You're eating,
But at that point, like we've talked about,
but the thing is,
you don't give a fuck about the interior of the engine of the car. You only care at that point about aesthetics of a vehicle.
No, but here's the thing.
Ain't taking that shit.
No, but here's the thing though. They've done studies on, because here's the thing. I've looked at studies for what vegans are doing, for what keto guys are doing, and even what your original American breakfast people are doing, your oatmeal and thing. Here's the thing with all of them, you're gonna have people that are like,
I like a good oatmeal.
No, but what I'm saying is you're gonna have studies that are like, oh well, you know what? What do you call vegans the right way to go? And then you're gonna have studies saying, oh no, keto is the right way to go. At the end of the day, it comes down to personal choice and personal experimentation. I think, you know what? If you want to experiment with, listen, I got friends who've tried the vegan thing. It's working for them. I'm not going to talk them out of it.
Are these the same friends that I know that are down in 4 cheeseburgers secretly? I think, you know what I mean? Like, because they're a vegan with their girlfriend, but when they're alone, they're eating chicken wings and 4 cheeseburgers.
Maybe at one time, but
that's not actually doing it.
Okay,
man.
but like I mean,
my brother's a vegetarian.
Okay,
and he will eat fish.
Okay.
And maybe eggs. Like, I think it's just fish.
Yeah, vegetarian is like, that's pescapalalian or whatever.
Full vegan because like there's actual shit that they believe, like him and his wife believe that they need those nutrients out of these things, right?
Okay.
And I that I get. I'm like, but even then, I think he's like, yeah, once a year I'll have a steak.
Yeah.
Because I like steak.
Yeah.
It's a treat. It's like a once a year thing. You know? A big momentous occasion.
And
I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
But it's not just shunning all of it. Like, it's not just like, well, and you know what? I didn't even know. Like, it just came up in conversation one day. And it's just one of those things where vegetarians, I've known a lot. I never even knew they were vegetarians.
Mm-hmm.
I never fucking knew. But vegan?
That's the one where they kind of they have to kind of announce it. Because they took it to the next level. They're like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, people like back. I remember you hear someone's a vegetarian. I never thought it was like I understood what it was, and it's like I never thought it was like weird or anything. I was just like, but they always had some sort of apologetic nature. I thought to them.
I'm pretty sure I dated a girl that was vegetarian, and I had no fucking idea.
Well, I remember my aunt was like
So you're
I know my aunt when my uncle and her got married, like in like maybe 95 or whatever. She's always been vegetarian and it's sort of like she always makes it kind of like she like understands it's like a hassle for people to like get stuff for that's like not what everyone else is eating sometimes. Like, But like, I feel like vegans aren't like I meet some people who are vegan. They're just like they would be in your face if you didn't have something ready for them that was like vegan.
They're not gonna. They
don't want to be apologetic about like the trouble you're gonna have to go to. They're just like, yeah, these pancakes better not have fucking eggs in them.
I mean, it's obviously a generalization. Like, not all vegans are in your face. Some are, they do their thing and whatever, right?
Just like I think the ones you were talking about, the ones who are very like open and in your face about like you should also be vegan, and like those are the ones who are gonna be like probably problematic at like a dinner party or something.
Yeah,
like looking at everything and going,
"Oh yeah,
what's in that?"
I'm maintaining their wine intake. Like I'm like, oh, don't want to get them loaded.
Oh, jeez, I don't know, man.
I don't know why we got talking about that nonsense.
Well, maybe because vegans, do they fall into the realm of nice guys?
Oh, they're
no. I don't think they are.
Or they're opposite. They're like, no,
I think they think they're nice because they're saving animals, but they're treating me like shit. You know what I mean? Like,
also,
so if you're not with the cause,
like someone like my sister, where like her and her husband became vegans, and I always thought of like vegans as being people who are very like savvy in how much they love animals and like how they like their causes. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that makes them convert to veganism. But I just see my sister mistreat her dog and like yell at her, and I'm like, you know what? I bet she doesn't really. She just wants to do this to like feel good about herself. Like I can tell you don't really love animals. You just want to have like something to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole other aspect is the animal rights movement and all that, and I'm like I'm with the whole like don't treat them badly, but like at what point, like the world is not going to stop eating animals anytime soon. So animals are going to be raised and they're going to be slaughtered and we're going to eat them. That's just the way it is. So I mean, potentially what we should do is like what Australia does. It's like they have all those red kangaroos or those like jacked ones in the outback. And they're like a pest. They're not like the cute kangaroos, and they just like slaughter them and eat them like the kangaroo meat. Yeah, no,
we need more like animals like that. So I'm thinking like Canada eventually got to take away that protection for those Canada geese. And like, there's too many of them. I personally think. It's like,
I think they're protected.
They are. We got to take away the protection. There's stuff like that. Like when there's overpopulation of species, instead of like eating all this, like like having factory farms with cattle,
raccoons,
and stuff, like figure out, pigeons. In Toronto, there's fucking fat raccoons.
Yeah, pigeons, squirrels.
Yeah, we should start eating that stuff. It's like the bothersome species. Take care of those first before we can treat ourselves to pork or.
You know what? There's probably some people eating some trash pandas.
Man. I mean, this is kind of. I mean. It's kind of a side note, but what do you call it? There's like the thing is with food, as you know, nutrition, fitness, and all that stuff. Bodybuilders tend to eat a lot of weird shit. Like there's been rumors of them eating. I mean, well, it's not weird, but I guess camel is one, and they'll eat
camel
because of water retention, right?
They'll eat certain meats because of a higher protein content or whatever, right? So. If you can sell them on the meat thing, whatever. But one of the weird stories I've heard is that apparently in Greece there was this woman who was lactating because she had kids or whatever, but she was lactating.
Oh, lactating. Okay,
milking,
sure, yeah.
And she was making a lot of milk. And apparently one of these bodybuilders found out that she was doing this, and
breast milk.
He basically wanted breast milk, told his buddies, and then she eventually opened up a business or like a side business where she sold her breast milk.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
And she made about $8,000 in a month just selling breast milk.
Can I tell you guys a weird story that happened to me today?
Yeah.
Do you ever go on like Pornhub Live where there's like the cam girls?
Yeah,
I know of the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I randomly browsed this site, and today I went on, and there was this like I was just like there was some cute girl. I was like, okay, I'll see what this is about, and then she was topless, and then I did the $5 thing because I wanted to see what was going on with this show.
Oh fuck! You've actually invested in.
And then I was because my thing was already connected.
You are a nice guy.
That is like we're going down.
There's a whole side to that website. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
No, I think some of this like the cam stuff they'll do only certain things to get money. Yeah. So I was just like, oh yeah, I was like, I'll throw it out there because I thought it was one of those things where you get to like get to a certain level or something and you like get a show. But then she just started like doing the show and it was for me, and and then she was like it was like showing your boobs, right? And then I'm like, she typed to me and she's like, do you want to see the milk? And then she looked like she was like 22, and all of a sudden she had these kind of like those nipples, right? Like the puffy nipple. And she just starts squirting milk out of it. And I'm like, oh, this is what the show's. And then on the chat below me, I see all of a sudden these guys' names pop up. They're like, nice. And I'm like, so other dudes were watching this too? I'm the one who donated the money, and then I made this show happen.
But is that what you wanted?
No, I'm like, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I was like, I just thought your breasts looked nice. Yeah, I'll go.
Who knew
for
$5?
She, because of the $5, I guess that means she would squirt a little breast milk.
Yeah.
So,
okay, man.
Wow.
That's just my story for today. I don't know if that related to what you were saying.
No, that not only revealed a lot about who you are, but that listen, I've never paid for porn. I have never for back in the day when it was just coming up, and they had those access sites or whatever.
Paid for a lap dance?
Yeah. I've lost a lot.
That's different, though.
Yeah.
That's different.
Well, that's different. There's a realness to it, right?
When I was young, they could catch me for 20, but as I got older, no.
Yeah. There's. Oh, that's another thing. Don't be a nice guy at a strip club. That's see. Okay, you wanna? Yeah. Like,
did I just tell you the one? You remember my friend Brett?
Yeah.
Brett Young. Oh, sorry. We'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
But my buddy was like in the back with a stripper at this, like the one place on Lansdowne, like Lansdowne,
Lancaster,
like
probably has
one. Is the one next to the church or Paradise? Maybe one of those two, right? And
it's the house or Paradise.
Yeah, it was one of and then and I'm just like by myself. There's like no one in there, and then like I'm near the stage, kind of, and then like girls keep coming up to me, and I'm like, this is weird, and then like girls like saying like
because they know you have a wallet.
No, but and then I'm just trying to finish my beer and then like hopefully wait for my friend to come. He's taking forever. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing in there?
See, that's right.
And I get like,
what's up?
But I get girl after girl keep asking me want to go to the back.
That's what they do.
And then this last girl, like, she just gets visually frustrated at me and goes, "What the fuck do you want? Like a blowjob?" And I'm like, no, sorry, I just wanted to finish my beer and I was waiting for my friend. Like, I'm not trying to like give you the wrong. You
didn't ask her how much?
No, there's a signal, and then my friend, like, 5 minutes later, comes back, and he's like, I'm like, man, it took a long time, and he's like, yeah, I paid her $200, and she blew me.
Oh, Jesus!
So I'm like, Christ. This is something they're doing at that place, like, off the books.
Hold on, though.
Well, first of all, from what I hear, you overpaid, but
in a way, his nice guy tactics got one of the strippers to get so frustrated that she was willing to give him a blowjob
for money.
But I guess, but in a way, like his
and if you think about it, they're just a human being.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like they'll do it if they want to do it.
Yeah,
like,
I get it. Yeah.
No, I think they just thought because my friend was this pervy guy who went in there and was like asked because he went.
Things do happen. Yes,
he went in was like basically with the mentality of what else will you do for me kind of thing, right? And then because they knew like extra money is on the table, maybe the guy he's with needs a little something. And I definitely didn't, but maybe,
Yeah, that's very common.
I'd rather just give $5 to see someone squirt some breast milk if I could, So.
I don't know. I just think that nice guy quality kind of saved you that night. But there's been times.
Yeah, it felt like weird, like I was gonna get.
Where being a nice guy can get you in trouble. I remember like my early experiences with these strip clubs was I'd go in with a certain amount of money, and just the first person to come up and even talk to me be like, "Oh yeah, here you go," and done, right? And then recently, I went back, tried to put on the shield, and whatever. I tried to hold up as long as
the last girl, and then you
but I'm slowly. That's the thing. I'm slowly working on that, like, You know what it is, and here's the thing.
I think there's a difference, man. I think there's a difference. Is that there's different targets up in there, like because like I used to go a fair bit, like when I was younger.
Yeah.
And to the point where like I got to know like some of the girls, right? And I probably drank too much a few times where, unfortunately my night ended where it probably would have continued, outside of the club, somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a point where like they view like certain people like, you know, like, okay, there's just a guy for money, maybe you go for a dance, other people are just there to watch. And then there's like just the whatevers, and then there's guys that they see or they interact with that they'd be like, well, I kind of like this guy, like he's kind of cool, right? They're just people, or like they're sizing you up too because like this is where they work, you know, like who knows what their background is. Maybe you're an option for them, right? Like if you go and you know whatever, who knows? Maybe you're an option, you know. Maybe you're like, oh, okay, so like you,
Kevin. Basically, they see guys like you and me, and they have that like predator night vision. they're just like going through the woods, and they're like target acquired.
deep pockets. Yeah. No, I get that.
I think everybody's like that at first. Like they see everybody like that, but then it's how you're treating them, right? Like if you're like the deer in headlights or like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that everybody was like that. Like me too, you know, but it's just experience and then, you know, seeing other people interact and it's like, oh. Yeah. You know, they are humans.
Well, see, that's that's another thing. Like early on, I would go in with like a lot of cash because I was like, okay, well, you know, money, whatever, right? And then, you know, eventually I learned like, fuck that. Go in with like a set amount of cash that you know you're willing to spend, right? And try and resist spending it all, but nope, never worked. So now, like, I won't even go in with cash. I won't even I won't even go in with anything. I'll go in with like enough just to buy a couple of drinks or whatever, and you know,
offer them a dance.
Do you know? I think the worst thing is I like
kick the chair and be like, why don't you stand on? I'll dance for you. You want to pay me?
Yeah.
Or how about a drink?
Is that a move? Is that a move?
That's an old move.
Yeah.
If surprisingly, it works.
Yeah. No, I like the thing is I don't mind conversing with them like and you know what, honestly that's usually the way it closes with me. Like it won't be the most attractive one that takes me down. It's the one that can actually converse. Like I was talking to this one that was like she was Italian and she was talking about spaghetti and shit, and I was like, oh yeah, you like spaghetti? I fucking like spaghetti. And we got into
crazy. You like spaghetti? Wow.
We got into this whole thing.
What are you, Italian? Yeah, I like spaghetti.
Yeah.
Let's go with the
what other kind of pastas do you like?
No, she was talking about like because like no.
I bet you like lasagna.
I like all the pastas.
You like the pan lasagna?
Yeah, no, we got into conversation or whatever, right?
Game like,
you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's a conversation that sometimes just draws me in, right? So
I hate that guys on their bachelor parties now don't want to go to a strip club because their fiance in advance has made them feel bad about going, not realizing that like that girl's definitely getting some peen thrown in her face that like her bachelorette party.
I hope so.
But
you know,
I think
hope
it's
they're
like
getting that.
Like I would hope that if
I know a girl swallowed a loony.
Jesus, what?
And the only explanation I ever got was what happened, and it was like or toonie or she had like the loony in her mouth. There was some kind of game going on,
right?
And I'm like, how'd you swallow the loony? And she's like, something went in my mouth. I'm like, oh, okay, then that's all I needed to hear. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's like I think it's the same as like like you said, like a bachelor party. I think. Why are they doing this?
You're supposed to get like carte blanche. I mean, guys, it's going to strip club doesn't mean you're going to fuck somebody.
You can't do any like everything.
I'm saying you should get carte blanche. Is like the technically you're giving them like it's like you should be just clear your mind and not try to think about what they're doing and just give faith that like they're not going to fuck a stripper, but like saying they can't go into a strip club at all or something like that or have like a little bit of fun out of like and you're concerned about it, but like that's just to me like starting a relationship in a bad way. You don't trust them. Like my brother's wife, like apparently that happened to him. We went to Toronto last year. She said no strip clubs, and he was really adamant about it. But some of us went and still went to strip club, and it was like this would be more fun if like I'm sure he was here because he'd have a good time, right? His last good hurrah, and he's like too worried that his his fiance is gonna find out about it. And also like she was like before their wedding, she started deleting all of his contacts that were women that he knew.
Oh no,
stuff like that. Like she didn't trust him at all to like have anybody who wasn't like his close friend or people she knew. Like they were just like random girls in his contacts. Like she went through them with him and was like, "Yeah, who's this?" Like I think that's pretty
extreme, man.
But stuff like that to me is like, I mean, why are you getting married to that person if you don't trust them to begin with?
That's a whole different topic.
Yeah, but see that type of the fact that he allowed that to happen. That's a nice guy move right there. Because he genuinely probably does love his wife. or whatever. There's no doubt about that. But he's sacrificing his own. Like, you can't tell me that he didn't want to go to the strip club.
Like, have you ever gone to a bachelor party where you don't go to a strip club? Like, I've been to a few.
I've been where the strippers come over.
That's what I'm saying. I've been to like
I've done both.
The last 3 I've been to, there's been like the one we eventually turned the guy into going, but like we had to drag him basically. Yeah, we're like pulling him. He's like, no, but if she knows, and then the next day there was a bit of like lipstick on his like collar.
Well, they do that on purpose.
Yeah. But then like and he's like frantically, he's like, I need to change my shirt. Then she'll know I'm coming back with a different shirt. Like, what do I do?
It sounds like he's maybe not. They're not as comfortable with each other as it seems. Like, if that's going to be an issue, like
it's not like this seems so stupid. Like, who gives a shit?
I would be perfectly comfortable if like a girl went to it's a bachelorette party, whatever, go, because the other girls want to have a good time too, and hopefully it's your closest friends. Right. And do your thing, have fun. Just don't do crazy, like don't cheat, that's all. You basically just don't cheat. Yeah. But same thing. Like I've had, I've been the best man a couple times, and I've been around a few of these, and like one was like the wife didn't want strippers, that just was off limits. So like you're planning this thing with a few people, and then all of a sudden, a week out or a few days. Couple days, 2-3 days, 2 days before, you get the green light. She's like, no, it's cool. Like, just everybody's gonna be there. Even the guy who's getting married's dad's like, what do you mean there's gonna be no strippers? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's just like, so yeah, you arrange it, find someone to come over, whatever, and you have a good time, and that's the difference. I think it's a little different if it's like escort.
Oh yeah,
stripper.
Sure,
stripper puts on a show and does some dances. Whatever.
I was going to say think they don't quite know what.
Escort doesn't do the dance.
But I will say this: I just remembered an important part of information. I don't know if I should say this on the podcast. But my brother's current wife, his wife, her previous marriage. Her husband was fucking around on her with strippers, so that's probably
okay. So she has a bit of a.
They just got some judgment against strippers. Well,
no, that would be a huge thing.
Yeah, that was that was her ex-husband being like, not even.
Yeah, but there's trust issues there.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely, yeah.
She just now has giving like strippers a bad rep, I think, in her head, maybe.
Do they ever have a good rep?
For sure, yeah.
Well, you can't blame the stripper.
No,
because who knows what the guy's telling him. Who knows, right? Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not really that piece of information. Sure it does kind of put that together, but like it still isn't like every other thing. Like remember my one friend, not the last one, but the one previous party we went to, it was like in the woods because we went on a camping trip with all guys, and that was like. Because
I can't do that.
Well, it was like I'm like, why do we go to the woods and it's just us like a little like teepee wherever like what are we doing? Like we should be like it was near
at least in a town.
The thing was is we were in the Pinery, which is right like 10 minutes away from Grand Bend. And Grand Bend would be like an awesome city to party in. Yeah. And we went there like the next day for like an hour. And then we left.
See, that's where I'd be like, okay, we need to be able to go there at night.
Yeah, we need like
to have a nightlife, and then
I was like, if we're gonna be here, we should have been.
Or that's when you bring
the whole time.
That's when you bring a stripper to the TP.
Sorry, the three men. The 3 men.
That gets weird. That's a little weird. That's a little
just
weird.
Imagine calling the stripper and be like, hey, listen, do you mind coming into the woods? There's gonna be 8 guys, a TP, and a fire. Just come and find us. Like
a few raccoons in the distance watching.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like for me, I'm traditional. Like when it comes to that shit. Like you're gonna have bachelor party. I assume guys are gonna do whatever, do some fun, go golf, and do whatever the fuck it is, and then maybe a strip club, right? Yeah. And I assume girls are gonna do their thing too, and end up at a strip club or. Have a stripper. Like it is what it is. It's
like they're gonna bake like a penis cake and drink out of penis straws.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like have fun. Like it's weird that someone's telling you at that point, like your last big fun party as a single person, how to do it. Even though you are going to marry
it's a little different than a fun party.
But I mean, like it's almost like
it's not like, oh, hey, great, everybody's back from college, let's have fun.
You know what I mean, though? Like it's like that one kind of like you're getting all your friends together, and you're that last kind of like big moment.
It's supposed to be that moment, and be like celebrate the single like this. Even if you've been with somebody for years, right? Like it's still that moment of okay. Well, I've always looked at it, and I've explained this before. I look at it like you're going to, okay. I look at it like you're going to jail, right?
Marriage?
So
okay. Listen, you know what? That's where the saying "ball and chain," right?
Well, I think any relationship you could apply to that, but the joke that I've always said to people that were getting married is, your best man is your lawyer. He's there, he's overseeing your case, he's trying to get you the best deal, out of everything. Like, he's the one planning everything, like, he's helping you out, like, he's taking control of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about all the pieces in there, you've got, like, people come up and they talk, they're like going in the witness box, you know what I mean? So the wedding is actually their trial, and everybody's trying to get you a good, like, you're going to jail. It's just like, what kind of sentence are you going to get? The best man's got to be on his game. Your friend's got to be point. Nobody can get hammered, drunk, and ruin the wedding. Hopefully the family members are good. And your speech has got to go well. The judge obviously is the minister or the priest or whatever, because he's doing the sentencing. To me, that's what it is. And generally, where do you live? You live in a house, right?
The big house.
No, well, they buy a house. Most people, this is when they buy a house. They
for
get
20
married.
years.
For the 35-year, whatever. And generally, like, what color are their walls? White, right? Yeah. And like the new style is like fucking like blank walls. It's an insane asylum,
Would
right?
You think, like getting divorced would be like parole then, kind of like, because you're back on the street, but there's like limitations because you got like child support, or you still got to pay the mortgage, really, and you're like still kind of paying your debt to society.
No, because like I think that's like
it's like going too far to the analogy.
And then that's when
I haven't taken it that far. I just always this was always my joke to people. Yeah. Like I'm always like people are like, oh, congratulations, you got married. I'm like, you poor bastard, enjoy your sentence, I'll see you in 30, or I'll see you whenever you can get out. Maybe get a day pass, right? Because that's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah,
conjugal visits.
We're all hoping for the day pass where like you can just get out. That's why all these guys end up in their garages. Yeah, it's like yard time.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a phenomenon. I understand relationships and sacrifice. I get that, but then there's like. There's got to be a part to find freedom. Like, I don't know. I think you can be free. There has to be. Freedom. There has to be a bit of freedom in thing, right?
Andy Dufresne.
Who's Andy Dufresne?
Oh, Shawshank.
Fuck yeah.
Tunneling. That's how you get it out of a marriage. You got to tunnel through like a sewer of shit, and then like, free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it's like, I don't know, garage access.
To tie into that though, back to the nice guy thing, for marriage, the marriage life, do you think the nice guy do you think the nice guy thrives better in the marriage life, or do you think, do you think
I think you're more stressed out if you're a nice guy in a marriage life,
or do you just go
you try your best, but everything affects you? I mean, like I'm thinking of like. I can think of two examples. Like my two uncles. My one uncle Mike, he's a really nice guy, but like I feel like because he's nice and he tries to make everyone happy, it affects him more. He'll talk to my grandma on the phone even though she's losing her mind for like hours, right? Whereas my uncle Kevin, who's like I was kind of like a bit like of a like kind of a jerk, but like he kind of distance himself.
He's like, why am I gonna
he distanced himself from drama at any cost, and he's like, but I think he's probably I don't know if he's happier, but like I feel like. Him just like not being as much of a nice guy de-stresses him, whereas other people pick up other people's baggage who are too nice. So like that happens, like you can see that happening with like a husband when you got kids and other like you got older parents and all this other stuff compiling, and you're trying to be like the good guy in every sense of the word, but like if you feel like dropping.
Well, there's being a dick, and then there's like the nice guy finished last thing. I don't know if it applies for that because like things change. Like
no. I don't mean like they finished last, but I just mean like you get someone's gonna get like a nice guy's gonna get stressed out because they're always trying to do the right thing and make everyone happy.
But do you think it's stressed out, or because like I've seen marriages before where the nice guy basically just numbs it all out, and he becomes one of those husbands where it's like dear, and just basically cruise control the whole relationship and wedding. And I mean the whole thing.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean I guess that's possible, right? But I don't know. I don't know. You got to talk to fucking dudes who've been married 20 years and, get feedback from them because, like, you have no idea, right? But, like, I do know that people shouldn't rush things.
Right.
Like, everybody should take time. You should know, who you're going to do it with, right? If you're going to go in on that, don't do it with somebody you just met. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. Like, that's just craziness. Like, when everybody's rushing everything, like, you're fucked.
So, closing statements, though. Nice guys. Do they finish last? Kirk?
I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's a really variable thing to think, but, like, in general, I think...
Are there times where nice wins and then times where nice just gets you hurt?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Both ways. But I think, like, it's true, though, with, like... it depends, like, what kind of nice you are. I mean, like, we were talking about us being direct with, like, when it comes to relationships or asking a girl out. You can still be nice and be direct and probably be more successful. But if you're, like, meandering and don't know how to go about it or shy, and then that's never really... And they come off as the guy who's, like a good example. Remember that guy? Was this video of a guy who's going to kiss a woman for the first time? And he's just like kind of like weird guy, and he's like, and she's like, I guess what's gonna be like? This guy's gonna kiss me for the first time, and he gets in closer, and it's on TV, and then he kind of just hugs her and like kisses her bit on the cheek.
Oh
it's
yeah.
I think that's what kind of me sometimes think of a nice guy as like, and people that's the kind I think we're saying is the one opposite, but like you can be nice.
That can make the difference, right?
You can be nice and just know what you want, and then you don't have to sacrifice being nice and still get everything you want. You just have to be direct and focused about it. That's what I kind of think, but
if you're that far though, like why would he do that? Like, if you're in an opportunity, if you got the feeling like I can do it, I can do this.
Yeah, it was some weird TLC show. It was like a TLC show. Or
I think it was
like
Kiss at First Sight, where two random strangers miss. But anyways,
it was a weird clip. Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm saying is, I don't know, Murray, the whole nice guy, like. Is it okay? Is it good to be a nice guy at one point in your life, or
I think it's good to be a nice guy in general, man.
Yeah.
I think that people will say I'm not a nice guy.
Okay.
People will say he can be a nice guy.
Right. So you
but I've done a lot of bad things.
So in a way, you have a balance to it. You know how to balance the certain times to be a nice guy and certain times to not be a nice guy.
I'm proud of the bad things that I've done.
I don't know, but don't you think...
I'm just a man.
Yeah, but don't you think the bad...
We were talking about the similar story stealing the hood ornament of a Mercedes.
Yes, exactly. Like when I was a youth, going around stealing car hood ornaments and, wrecking my bicycle.
I just did it because I was really drunk. I was like about 12 drinks in at a bar, and I kept telling the bouncer, and I'm like, I'm going to take that. And
I was younger than you, yeah.
I was like 19, but I for some reason thought that like by telling the bouncer that I was going to take it, and he was just nodding his head, that meant that I could take it. Not that he was just like, this guy's fucking too gone, he's not going to do it. And I did it, and I ran really fast, and I almost got away.
Yeah. Well, what was I saying?
But aren't I just think that, I mean, nice guys, it pays off. I think it feeds your soul, or whatever you call it. You feel better, but I think the bad things are probably more exciting. When you
stressful, perhaps, but it depends, man. I think that everybody's got some nice in them, and I'm not talking about dicks. Like, dicks are going to end up with idiot chicks, and they're going to do idiot things together, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But we all have done bad things. We're all capable of bad things. We're all going to do crazy shit. I think that, nice guys, like, if you're just going to live your life and not, man up or take what you want, or, get fired up or passionate about whatever you're feeling. If it's the last pizza slice in a box at a party,
right,
take the slice, man, Unless there's a girl that, like, your girl's there, or somebody that you're really interested in. Okay, maybe give her the slice. But at the end of the day, why don't you take the slice and offer her a bite?
Right.
Share the slice.
Okay.
Don't just give the slice, Share the slice with somebody you want to share it with. Otherwise, eat the fucking slice, Because fortune favors the bold. That's like a saying. So if that's how I look at it.
All right. Yeah.
You got to be bold. And if that means you're going to be a dick, then you're going to be a dick, But nice guys do bad things, and nice guys can hurt people without intentionally doing it. You know, like you just make a decision and then you roll with it, and then all of a sudden you make another decision, and then you've made a whole bunch of bad decisions, and now you're a bad guy. But really, you're not. You know, you're not trying to do anything bad. You're just trying to live a life.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can be like a nice person and then try to think you're doing something nice for somebody by saying something or not telling the truth, but then like it comes back that like you lied.
Exactly.
And then like then you are the asshole.
You're trying to spare somebody's feelings, but realize like you're doing more damage, right? So, and that's different than like falling in the friend zone. Like these are more adult things than like, you know, oh yeah, this girl I like, you know, and I'm a friend zoner. But yeah, nice guys probably are gonna make a move on that. Right. You know, like they're not gonna R-rated, man. It's that saying, right? You got to be the R-rated guy.
Right. So, I think that's pretty much it for the nice guys. Any advice to nice guys? From one nice guy to a nice guy, Kirk. What kind of advice do you got for them?
Don't give up. Always keep trucking.
And Murray, any closing advice for the nice guys out there listening?
Be bold.
Right, be bold. And on that note, that's the new and improved version.
I wouldn't say that.
It's pretty much the same shit with, yeah. That's the Other Guys podcast. I'm Kevin. And tonight I had Kirk and Murray join me. And thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
All that shit. And we'll...
bleep out those names I mentioned earlier.
I'm definitely going to be bleeping out a couple things.
Bleep.